What's going on, my friends? I hope that you are well. If you don't know, my name is Chris, and this is Chucktown Van Life. Now, I know what you're thinking. As I said in my last video, there's not a lot of van life going on, and you would be right. There's definitely not a lot of van life going on. So, what I'm doing is getting my home base situated first, and we'll get to that very soon, after this. By the title of this video, you know what I'm about to talk about, or you have a general idea. Yes, I spoke with the builder, and good news, so far they're on board with everything. They just have a couple of questions with the engineer, and then they're good. From that point, once I get an email from them saying they're on board, everything is good, we're going to do this, I get this paperwork done. Now, from this angle, it may not look like a lot of paperwork, but there's a bunch of pages here, and I've got to figure out what applies to me and what doesn't. Something you need to know if you're going to be your own contractor. There's a lot of paperwork involved, and you're going to have to be patient. Contractors that do a lot of this, they can get it done quicker because they know the paperwork and they do everything online. They have everybody lined up. All of their people that are going to do their work lined up. So what I have to do is I have to go meet with the plumber and the electrician and a couple other people, get that paperwork filled out because I have to get their information put in, and I have to submit. The county has to know who's doing the work. They can approve it. They also have to know the estimated, it's probably an estimated, what the contract value might run around, and that's going to be tough for me, but I can add some things up and give them a general idea. I don't think they want 100% exact, but close to nothing, because when you're building something, the cost will fluctuate. That's a given. So, but the one thing that I have to do, and I don't know about other states' laws, but in South Carolina, if I'm my own contractor, I have to sign an affidavit and get it notarized. That's this paper right here. This is one of the very few that I know that apply to me in this paper, this packet of paperwork. But I have to get that signed and notarized saying that I say and agree that I'm going to be the primary resident of that property for 2 years at least. There is a reason, and to go through this dance, I have to learn how to dance. I have to play along. So, I might not dance, but I've got to do it to do this. So that's page 1 out of, gosh, must be 30 or 40 pages of paperwork on this thing. So that's page 1. A couple of these pages kind of give you some what is required on the plans, which is the engineer's doing, and that's all there. This is the permit application. This is where it states I get my information, owner. I have to fill out the tax map, and what I don't fill out, they'll ask me and they'll help me with that. God, I hope, because these people at the building permit office are going to know me by a first name basis. They're going to swear I work there when it's said and done, because I'm going to have a lot of damn questions here. So, but up here is where they'll put the permit number, but you have page 2, which is the start of that application. Some of the initial information. The next would be is a form that states, is, I guess, an E911 address request form. So in other words, telling about the address, who's going to live there, description of the property and stuff like that. They'll file that because they're going to file it with the county. So God forbid I pick up the phone and call 911 and yell my address. They know everything about it. God forbid the fire department or ambulance or somebody has to show up, or the police. They know about the house, they know about the property. They have a way of getting, your site plan and your plans to know a floor plan of the house. Now, this house, now it could be hard to figure out a floor plan. No, just one room, and we got the bathroom and the laundry right there. Not hard. It's basically a small, tiny home. We'll just call it a cottage. And what it will eventually be, as I said, it'll be a guest cottage, guest house eventually later if I want it to be. Right now, it's going to be my cottage in my house. That's what that's going to be. So, next piece of paper here. I don't know if I'm going to go through all this stuff at all, but Planning and Zoning Department. Basically, it's just saying that I'm the owner. And if there's any land developments or anything, or if it's in a development, that's one of them. There's another one that says it too. So There's a page here. It says what submitting requirements are. I need to put that in with the instructions over there, where the hell that's at. That's basically saying that what they're needing, permits, they're needing some of the compliance on that deal. So that's, I'll have to read through that stuff. They're going to want 2 sets of plans, unless otherwise stated. I would assume they're going to need 2. That's what I've always been told. This just some more requirements, stuff the engineer already knows and does. The engineer did what he did do. One thing, interestingly, is he did what you call a manual J. It's a manual J load test for heating and air. No matter what you do, you have to have that done. The county expects that paperwork. And that paperwork was rolled up in my plans here. But basically what it is he did an engineering spec of that house, of how heating and air would work, to size up how my heating and air would go. And basically in this small of a house, I'm going to do a mini split, which I thought it would be about 10,000 BTU. He said I would get an 18,000 BTU. Trust me on this one, and I have to trust him. He's the engineer. The manual J and the load test told him, he said, you got a metal roof and you got 7 windows in that house, and as small as it is, and you want to make sure that it's going to work it's not going to be too much overkill. It causes problems, but you want to be a little bit bigger, because it's going to save you money, because if it gets the room cooler quicker, the unit's not going to run as much. It will save you some money. You really, I'm going to trust that he did that, and I agree with him. I'm not going to fight him on that. It's ridiculous. I want that. I've got to be able to have that work right. So yeah, he did that. So that's required. This paperwork will be submitted. I'll submit all that, whether they ask for it or not. But he said that Dorchester County does require that. So that's kind of big. So a lot of the energy certificate stuff, that's a part of that manual J stuff that they require. A lot of these are more instructions on, that's a duplicate page in permit submittal. So let's put that over here, and I'll know it in due time. So, all right. Next one, application for encroachment. What this is it's going to be, if there's encroachment of public works, basically stating you have a driveway, and the town that I'm in will send a letter once they approve the site plan and get the business license of the builder. I'll take a letter from them. They'll send saying they approve it, the encroachment. I can't build on this particular property in this town. I can't build within 5 feet of the property line. It's a fire code, but you really never want to do that. You don't want to do that unless you're in townhomes. Reason being is, what if they run utilities, power, water, sewer, gas, or anything goes on, they've got to get through there. You don't want your house being there. You do not want them boring under your concrete slab of your house or footings under your home, period. You do not want them to do that. So basically what this is you're stating what your encroachment is. I've got some questions about this one. This is going to be one I definitely have questions about. So what applies to me and what doesn't? The word encroachment and variance does tell me it applies to me. I just need to know how and what they need to know. This is just some of this is instructions for it. I might want to read that before I ask questions. That would help. So this is some of that for the application. 2 pages of that fun reading material. So fun. As a side note, I never was a big reader. I'm what they call illiterate. I read when I need and want to read, and I read a lot of it. But when I don't read. I do music. That's pretty much what I do for a living. Doing music for film and TV. So anyway, so erosion protection, sediment control. I have no idea if this applies to me. I really don't know. Something about contractor information. That's another question. So I'm going to have to mark each page what my question is on that deal. I don't have a clue. I don't know. But another page of instructions on that there page. So I might want to read that a little bit before I start asking questions. Might save me some time and some trouble. I need to put those pages with each one. So basically you've got checklists, and then so some of this paperwork may not be as much as I thought. Now that I'm looking through this with you guys, it's a little less daunting. Maybe it's because I'm anticipating on doing it. So I tend to go headfirst into things and go all in. So some people look at the glass as half empty, and some say it's half full. I like to say the glass is half full because I anticipate it to be full and on par. So anyway, this is a code of laws. I guess I ought to read that. But the state of South Carolina has them, just like every state. So here's where the nitty gets gritty. There is several pages of listing who the contractors are on this stuff. And it's detailed. I have to know who's doing, tell them. I have to tell them on these pages exactly who's doing what. And if you notice, on this page, I have to give them the contract value. I have to, what estimate and the price they give me, I have to enter. He said, that doesn't have to be 100% exact, but we got to get an idea of what that's going to cost. We have to know. I have to have their state license and their county license before they can do the work on this. If they don't have that, those guys are not going to be able to do the work on my property. I have to get their address, their phone number, all the information. So standard stuff, if they've done this, they know the drill. But I have to do it for everything. Who's doing the foundation? Well, that's going to be my concrete guy. Who's doing my plumbing? Who's doing my electrical? Mechanical to be heating and air, I'll just put self, which would be I'm doing it. Masonry, I just put self, or just leave it blank, because the engineer, I said, do I need to tell them if I'm having them do brick? And he said he didn't know. So be it that it may, that's all this paperwork here, folks. It is that. Next is a bunch of other stuff, some instructions and some other stuff you have to fill out. I don't want to go over all that with you, but it's a lengthy process. But the good news is, builder's on board, and within it, hopefully there's only one question he has. I hope it doesn't deter it. That's the only thing I'm worried about. But other than that, he's on board. We're good to go. It's going to take me a while. We'll get through this process and we'll get it done. But other than that, that's the next step in this journey. And I appreciate you guys for watching. If you have any questions, let me know. If you got any ideas, try them down below. And as always, please like and subscribe. And I appreciate you for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Be cool. Bye.